As the Christmas break approaches, the small colleges of the Lehigh Valley get together for their annual luncheon at Starter's Pub. The teams reflect on their start of the season to this point and what they need to improve on for the new year. Erica Rose was there and sat down with the women's teams.
The Moravian and DeSales women's basketball teams have had a rocky start to this season due to inconsistency, injury, and some stiff competition. Muhlenberg, on the other hand, has not had too many problems as they currently sit undefeated.
I knew it was going to be a rough start for us. We were playing some pretty good teams, and you know, I actually didn't feel that bad about the way we were playing. We were playing pretty good. It's just the other teams were a little bit better than us. So I'm extremely happy where we are now, considering we started 1-4.
We've been very inconsistent. There are times where I think that we can get it together and we look like we're ready to go, and then all of a sudden there's a blip in the screen, and we haven't really defined the issue or the problem, but we just aren't the same team in every game.
Well, the team's played very well for the start of the season. We had very high hopes coming in after a Sweet 16 appearance in the NCAAs last year. Obviously wanted to win the Centennial Conference again, 5th time in 7 years. But we have very high aspirations. You know, our team does not want to lose a game this year. And so far, so good. And we want to be nationally ranked, and we're number 12 right now.
Despite the lack of seniors on each of these three teams, the coaches are fortunate to have a deep bench where they can rely on whichever player enters the game.
It's great to know that we have so many people that are able to back us up, and even when they come off the bench, it's just basically like having our starters in already. We're all about team basketball. We don't have like one or two main studs. We all share the ball. We really focus on passing around, making sure we do the extra play to get the score and try to win the game.
It's a good advantage to have more than 5 people who can play, and it gives us like a rest that we can rely on other people to contribute.
Well, I think it's key, especially this last week. We played 5 games in 8 days, so it was really crucial that we played that many players, and they're capable of playing. It'll be nice getting Erica Blair back. The team concept is positive because a lot of kids are playing and contributing as well. So hopefully that will continue.
We really believe that we have players who might be considered second, third string on our team who could start for most other teams. So we have the confidence they can perform when they're in the games.
With finals week underway and Christmas break approaching, the hardest challenge for these teams will be keeping the momentum despite the huge gap before their next game.
That's the tricky part, and you just hope that the players realize we have had pretty good success over the last week, so they just have to continue to work at it on their own when we go on a break, and hopefully they realize, you know, they don't want to go back to the way it was in the beginning. So hopefully we'll continue that momentum when we get back.
It's going to be hard. I know last year we lost 5 games in January after being 8-0 going into the break, but I think we're going to work on staying in shape over break and keep playing so that we don't fall into that again. And I think a lot of our returning players, we know we don't want to get into that January that we had last year.
That is difficult sometimes. You come back, you've had some time off, but the kids will work hard when they're home, and then we've just got to be really focused when we get back. That's something you never know what's going to happen. That sort of roll the dice on what's going to happen after a long layoff.
On the scene at Starter's Pub in Bethlehem, I'm Erica Rose, 2 Sports.
Also today, they announced their small college women's unsung hero team for December, and we take a look at the list. Shannon Barlow from Del Val, their record at 6-3 to this point in the season. Taylor Green from DeSales, 4-4 thus far for the Lady Bulldogs. Amanda Kruder from Moravian, they are 5-4 on the year. She's averaging 9.8 points per game. First year as a starter for her. Fiola Moyes from East Stroudsburg, they are 3-5 currently. Kimberly Mew, number 12th ranked team in the country, they are 8-0 as Coach Roan mentioned. Amber Wary from Cedar Crest at 1-7, and Steph Zayway from Kutztown, they're checking in at 3-8. She's coming off a career-high 15 rebounds against Slippery Rock.
Moving over to the small college men's side, where Muhlenberg is currently the only team that has posted a winning record, while Moravian and DeSales hope to make their way back up to 500. Regina Potocny takes a look at their seasons up to this point.
3-5 DeSales got off to a slow start, but in the last 2 weeks, 19-year head coach Scott Koval is happy with the steps his Bulldogs have taken as they are developing into a cohesive unit and becoming a good basketball team.
We've been trying to find our identity, and I think we have not done that yet. I think we're in the process of doing that. We have a very good player in Brett Moyer, who's a junior. We have 3 seniors who have been very, very good for us, Jamie Burser, Bob Zanio, and Tom Marshall. We're getting some really good play from some of our freshmen, but we haven't really meshed yet, and it's kind of exciting as a coach. It's certainly a challenge for me as a coach.
I think we've been playing really good lately, actually. We've been playing a lot better than we were in the beginning of the season. We know we were on a 4-game losing streak. We snapped that on Saturday, and we were really actually really happy about that. And even the 2 games before that we lost, we felt like we were playing a lot better than we were in the beginning of the season, so it's good to see that we're getting better as we're moving forward.
Muhlenberg is coming off a big win over Dickinson, improving to 7-2 overall, 2-2 in the Centennial Conference. Third-year head coach Scott McCleary is pleased with the play of his team, but like any head coach, there are aspects of the game he wants to get stronger.
Very excited personnel-wise. Of course, we're led by our only senior, Spencer Liddick, who has led the conference in scoring and rebounding for 2 straight years. Again, he's our leading scorer, and it does lead the conference again in rebounding, so he leads us as well. We've got 4 players averaging double figures right now, so we got better balance than I think we've had in the past, and some good talent out there. Got to shore up the defensive numbers a little bit. But we're mixing a lot of youth with a lot of returning players, and just figuring that mix out and figuring out what the new roles are has been our challenge so far. And as we learned, we've been winning games, so I can't complain.
We have a lot of talent on our team. I think we have the making of a great team that we could go very far in the playoffs, I think. Right now, I think we're scoring like 90 points a game. We have a high-energy offense, and I think we're a lot of fun to watch. We just have a lot of great players, a lot of guys that can score the ball, and I think we're starting to come together and starting to really play together as a team, which is scary.
Moravian's coach Jim Walker, in his 32nd year, feels his team has played well but haven't been able to pull out W's. Dropping 4 games where the Hounds led for the majority has hurt their record, which stands at 3-6.
Coach preaches the fundamentals, because a lot of times we lose games on 1 or 2 rebounds at the end, and that's what cost us. We lost 5 games by 4 points or less, so we're right there.
We've got to practice a little better. I know that sometimes, that's what coaches usually say, that practice leads to better play on the court, and I think that's true for us. And we seem to practice hard enough. It's just that our focus and concentration a lot of times in practice is not good all the time, and we have a young team that hasn't developed that consistency in practice that we need to help us carry over to be consistent in the games.
While Moravian is done with their schedule until after the Christmas break, when they host their holiday tournament on January 2nd and 3rd, DeSales and Muhlenberg each have 1 more game. The Mules will host Drew on Sunday afternoon, while the Bulldogs will play 1 more at Belair Hall on Tuesday versus Keene.
It's really a pretty good time. The kids get a chance to get away, they get to be with their families, come back with a fresh mind and fresh bodies, and then we kind of start over again. But we're really happy to have this game before the holidays. I think it really helps us.
It's almost like 2 different seasons. We'll come back together on January 2nd to practice, and then play again at McDaniel, I believe, on January 7th. And then it's, we have 1 game with DeSales, but it's pretty much league the rest of the way from there on out.
We're looking forward to coming back and being a better team.
Regina Potocny reporting 2 Sports.
Take a look now at the men's unsung hero team. Eric Brennan, the senior from Kutztown, coming in averaging just over 8 rebounds a game. Jeff Cullinan, the senior forward from Moravian on that team. Russell Graham III, the senior from East Stroudsburg. Nate Lewis, just a sophomore from Delaware Valley. Tom Marshall, the senior guard from DeSales on that squad, along with Matt O'Hara, who we heard from, the junior guard from Muhlenberg. O'Hara leading the team in assists over the last couple of seasons. Jeff Cullinan, a special moment for him this season. He had a career high, or tied a career high, with 17 points in the monumental game which gave his coach, Jim Walker, his 400th win.
It's nice, with the small college luncheon, they always have a different category. Today, it's the unsung hero category. We'll see what it is for next month.